everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. First of all, I'm sorry for taking such a long time to post a video. I'm quite busy, so I hope you forgive me for that. By the way, in this video, I'll share with you some of my experience so you can enhance your English pronunciation and sound like a native speaker. And you can also practice along while watching the video. So this is a lesson that I taught my student last week, and I was thinking, why don't I take this lesson and teach it to YouTube so everybody can learn it. By the way, you also notice that there are Vietnamese subtitles down below because I believe this is the best way for Vietnamese learners to enhance their English fluency. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight to the video. So, this is the lesson that I taught my students last week, which is enhance your natural English. It has 3 parts: intonation, sentence stress, and buying time. Buying time means the buying time phrases. I'm a part-time IELTS teacher, and some of my students, they cannot think of the answers right away when they're asked the part 3 questions, right? Because IELTS part 3 questions are really abstract and some of them do not have the knowledge. So I teach them some buying time phrases so they can have like an extra second to think of the answers. So now let's move on to the intonation. So remember this, intonation is the music of English. Intonation, it means how you raise your voice and you lower your voice, right? So here are 4 main types of intonation. The first one is rising. You raise your voice at the end of the sentence when you are asking yes/no questions or you want to express that you are surprised. For example, right? Are you done? You can repeat after me. Do you like it? Do you like it? And the final one, did you really eat the whole cake by yourself? Did you really eat the whole cake by yourself? The next type is falling. You will lower your voice at the end of sentence when you are asking WH questions. You want to make statements or you want to give commands. Alright, so let's practice. Look at the examples. Where are you going? I'm from Vietnam. This is a statement. I don't think that's a good idea at all. And the third one, rise, then fall. You raise your voice in the middle of the sentence and then lower it at the end of the sentence. Right now, let's practice. Oh, really? Right, so let's distinguish between these two really, right? Really? Really? Right, so you heard that sense of sarcasm. Really? Yeah. And next, wow, that's amazing. You're showing strong emotion. Wow, that's amazing. For example, your friend just bought a pair of shoes and they said that, oh, it cost me like $5,000, and you think your friend is lying. So you want to show sarcasm right here. You spend how much on a pair of shoes? So it depends on the circumstance, all right? The final one is fall, then rise up again. This type of intonation is to show hesitation, polite disagreement, or contrast ideas. Now let's practice. I'm not sure, right? So polite disagreement, I'm not sure. I thought you liked it. All right, so I'm connecting between liked and it. I thought you liked it. Okay, the final one. It's not exactly what I expected, but okay. It's not exactly what I expected, but okay. The next concept that we're going to talk about is sentence stress, right? So I assume that you all know about word stress, right? For example, in the word sentence, there are 2 syllables and you stress at the first syllable, sentence. You do not pronounce it sentence. So that's called word stress. And sentence stress is the emphasis placed on important words in the sentence, usually content words, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, and function words like articles, prepositions, auxiliary verbs, and so on are usually unstressed. Usually, not always, because sometimes they're stressed to emphasize some kind of meaning. Right, so here is one example. Firstly, I want you to read out this sentence. Alright, now let's practice with the stresses, right? Stress at the letters which are in green. I went to the park yesterday. I want the listener to grasp the information. What I did, went. Where did I go? To the park. When did I go? yesterday. See, I want the listener to grasp the important information. I went to the park yesterday. So this is a link which leads to a YouTube video that reminds them about sentence stress after I taught them about that. I'll leave the link below so you can watch it and further understand about sentence stress. Right. One of the best and most straightforward way to practice intonation and sentence stress is through shadowing, right? So shadowing means that you imitate exactly how the native speakers speak. So let me demonstrate. All right, so I have to switch to my front camera.
The text. In the middle of winter. Repeat after me. In the middle of winter.
In the middle of winter.
I finally realized that.
I finally realized that.
I finally realized that.
I finally realized that. But you get the idea, right? Right, now let's practice with this sentence, right? So you can read it first. This is a sentence that I took from a 120 hours TEFL course online, and I hope that they allow me to use this sentence for my YouTube videos for educational purpose. Right, so now each different word that you stress, the sentence gives a different meaning. Right, so let's start at the beginning. I want you to repeat after me as well. She didn't marry him because of his money. Right, so this sentence emphasizes the current wife of the man. The wife didn't marry him because of his money. Okay, next. She didn't marry him because of his money. She didn't marry him because of his money. It means a strong denial. She did not marry the husband because of the husband's money. She didn't marry him because of his money. For example, the wife met the husband earlier and he has a lot of money, but that's not the reason why the wife married the husband. Maybe it's because of something else. Right, so next, she didn't marry him because of his money. So this one emphasizes him, the husband. She didn't marry him because of his money. She might marry him because of many other things. The main reason for the marriage is not only money, right? She didn't marry him because of his money. And the final one, she didn't marry him because of his money. She didn't marry him because of his money, right? So she might marry him because of love, right? Not because of money. All right, so here are some questions that I want you to write down the answers and then speak out your answers with intonation and sentence stress. All right, so take a picture, take a screenshot, and let's move on to the next slide. So now, here are the buying time phrases. My YouTube channel mainly focuses on IELTS and IELTS tips. If you are preparing for your IELTS examination as well, I recommend you to watch this part of the video. If you encounter questions that are too hard, use buying time phrases. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. I haven't really thought about that before. Well, I suppose I'd say, let me see. It's a bit difficult to say, but maybe off the top of my head, I'd say I need a moment to think about that. I guess there are a few ways to look at it. That's an interesting topic. I'd say, well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure, but here are some questions that you can practice. Okay, so this is the end of the video. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video to your friend so they can learn and enhance their English pronunciation as well. And remember to practice every day. I mean, imagine, right? You spend 30 minutes every day to practice pronunciation, to practice shadowing, and by the end of the year, your pronunciation will be much better. Be consistent.